Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and suddenly felt your mind go blank? One of my viewers, a 68-year-old grandmother, told me she was reading a bedtime story to her granddaughter when she froze. She couldn't find a simple word she had used all her life. In her words, it was like the word just vanished, and for a moment I felt like a stranger in my own mind. Stories like this are more common than many realize. According to the Alzheimer's Association, nearly 1 in 9 adults over the age of 65 in the United States experiences some form of cognitive decline. That's about 11% of seniors, and the numbers are rising as life expectancy increases. Source: Alzheimer's Association. But here's what you need to know. Decline is not inevitable. Research shows that the foods you eat, and the way you move, how you rest, and how you challenge your mind all play a powerful role in keeping your brain sharp well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. This isn't about miracle pills, it's about small daily choices that work together to shield your memory, focus, and independence. So in today's video, we'll explore 3 major areas proven by science to protect your brain. Foods that fuel your mind, activities that train your brain, sleep and stress habits that reset your memory every day. As we go through each section, ask yourself, what daily habit do I rely on most to keep my mind sharp? And what new step can I start today? Let's begin with the foundation of brain health: the food on your plate.
The information in this video is for educational purposes only, compiled from open sources, and does not substitute medical advice. Please consult your doctor for any health-related concerns.
1. What is cognitive decline? Cognitive decline is a term that refers to the gradual worsening of mental abilities. It usually begins subtly, forgetting details of a recent conversation, struggling to find the right word, or needing extra time to make decisions. Over time, if not managed, it can progress to more serious conditions like mild cognitive impairment, MCI, or even dementia. But let's be clear, not every instance of forgetfulness is a sign of decline. Occasional memory slips are a normal part of aging. What makes cognitive decline concerning is when memory issues become frequent enough to interfere with daily life. From a scientific perspective, cognitive decline is linked to changes in the structure and function of the brain. As we age, the brain experiences shrinkage in certain regions, especially the hippocampus, the area critical for memory formation. Neurons, the brain's communication cells, may lose connections, and blood flow to the brain may decrease. These changes make it harder for the brain to process, store, and retrieve information. According to the National Institute on Aging, NIA, some cognitive decline is considered normal with aging, but there's a clear difference between normal aging and pathological decline. Normal aging may slow your recall speed, but pathological decline affects reasoning, judgment, and daily functioning. Understanding this distinction is important because it highlights why proactive steps matter. You cannot stop time, but you can absolutely influence how your brain ages. 2. Why seniors are more at risk. So why does aging put seniors at greater risk of cognitive decline? The answer lies in a mix of biology, lifestyle, and health conditions. One major factor is brain aging itself. Just like the rest of the body, the brain undergoes wear and tear over the years. Neurons may not communicate as efficiently, and neurotransmitters, the chemicals that carry messages in the brain, tend to decline. Another critical factor is inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging, is now recognized as a key driver of age-related diseases, including cognitive decline. This kind of inflammation can damage brain cells and interfere with the delicate processes of memory and learning. Vascular health also plays a role. Conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol can damage the small blood vessels that supply oxygen-rich blood to the brain. Over time, reduced circulation means brain cells don't get the nourishment they need. But lifestyle matters too. A sedentary routine, poor diet, chronic stress, and lack of social interaction can all accelerate brain decline. For example, a study published in Harvard Health found that seniors who remained socially active and physically engaged had a significantly lower risk of cognitive decline compared to those who isolated themselves. What this tells us is powerful. Cognitive decline is not only about age, but about choices. Genetics may load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger, or keeps it safely locked away. Section 1. Foods that fuel the brain. The saying, "You are what you eat," couldn't be truer when it comes to brain health. Every bite you take becomes fuel and building material for your brain cells. And the exciting news is that research has pinpointed specific foods that can slow and even in some cases reverse the pace of cognitive decline. One of the most studied diets for brain protection is the MIND diet, a blend of the Mediterranean and DASH diets. At Rush University Medical Center, researchers discovered that seniors who closely followed the MIND diet had a 53% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. Even those who only partly followed it reduced their risk by 35%. Source: National Institute on Aging/Rush University Study. So what foods make the biggest difference? Let's explore. Omega-3 fatty acids, fuel for neurons. Your brain is almost 60% fat, and a good portion of that is made of DHA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid. These healthy fats, found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, help build and repair brain cell membranes while reducing inflammation. In fact, a study in neurology found that older adults with higher omega-3 levels had larger brain volumes, essentially giving them younger-looking brains. Source: Neurology Journal. If you don't eat fish, you can turn to plant sources like walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. And yes, fish oil supplements can help too. But here's a safety note. Always check with your doctor first. Supplements can interact with blood-thinning medications or conditions like low blood pressure. Leafy greens, daily shield for memory. Spinach, kale, collard greens, and broccoli are loaded with nutrients like vitamin K, folate, beta-carotene, and lutein. A 2018 Rush University study showed that seniors who ate one serving of leafy greens daily experienced slower cognitive decline, the equivalent of being 11 years younger in brain age. Source: Neurology, Rush University Study. So when you add a side of steamed greens or a salad to your dinner, you're not just protecting your body. You're actively protecting your memory. Green tea. Focus in a cup. Green tea has been treasured for centuries for its ability to energize without overstimulating. It contains L-theanine, an amino acid that works with caffeine to improve alertness and focus. A review published in Phytomedicine confirmed that green tea consumption is linked to better memory and attention in older adults, while also lowering the risk of cognitive impairment. Source: Phytomedicine Journal. If coffee makes you jittery, a daily cup of green tea may be your new ritual for mental clarity. Dark chocolate, a sweet bonus. Yes, chocolate makes the list, but specifically dark chocolate with 70% or more cocoa. It's packed with flavonoids that increase blood flow to the brain. A Frontiers in Nutrition study found that cocoa flavonoids improve memory, processing speed, and overall brain performance. Source: Frontiers in Nutrition. Of course, moderation is key. A square or two is plenty. But think of it this way. A small treat can also be a brain-friendly choice. Section 2. Activities that train and protect the brain. Food provides the raw materials your brain needs, but just like a muscle, your mind also needs exercise. Without stimulation, neurons lose their strength. With the right activities, however, your brain can form new pathways, strengthen old ones, and remain resilient even as you age. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and grow at any age. So what kinds of activities best protect and strengthen the brain? Let's explore 4 powerful categories. 1. Mental workouts, training your brain. Like a muscle, crosswords, puzzles, and Sudoku have long been praised for mental sharpness, and they work. But the real secret lies in learning something new. A Journal of the American Geriatric Society (JAGS) study found that seniors who engaged in mentally stimulating activities at least once a week had a 7 to 14% lower risk of developing dementia compared to those who didn't. Source: JAGS study. The reason? New learning forces your brain to build fresh pathways. Reading a book is excellent, but learning a new language, picking up a musical instrument, or even navigating new technology challenges your memory, attention, and coordination all at once. So ask yourself, when was the last time I tried something truly new for my brain? 2. Physical activity. Movement as medicine for the brain. Your body and brain are deeply connected. Exercise doesn't just strengthen your muscles, it directly strengthens your memory. Here's why. Physical activity boosts blood flow to the brain, reduces inflammation, and releases a powerful protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often described as fertilizer for the brain. The Mayo Clinic reports that regular aerobic exercise, like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, improves memory, attention, and processing speed in older adults. Source: Mayo Clinic, Exercise and Brain Health. The key is consistency, not intensity. Even light activities like gardening, dancing, or walking the dog can provide protective benefits. Start where you are. A daily 15-minute walk is a far better brain booster than waiting for the perfect workout plan. Safety note: if you have balance issues or heart conditions, consult your doctor before starting new exercise routines. 3. Social connections. The brain thrives on relationships. Humans are wired for connection. Isolation is one of the fastest accelerators of cognitive decline. In fact, loneliness has been compared to smoking 15 cigarettes a day in terms of health risk. The Harvard School of Public Health found that seniors with active social lives experienced the slowest rates of memory decline. Source: Harvard Health, Social Connection. Social interaction is powerful because it's complex. Conversations require memory, attention, emotional awareness, and language, all firing at once. This doesn't mean you need a packed social calendar. Even small steps matter. A phone call with a loved one, volunteering at a local center, or joining a community club. Each interaction is like a mini workout for your brain. So, ask yourself, who could I call today to brighten both of our minds? 4. Music and creativity. Unlocking hidden memory pathways. Few things light up the brain like music. Listening, singing, or playing an instrument activates memory, emotions, and motor coordination simultaneously. A Frontiers in Psychology review showed that music therapy improves memory, mood, and overall quality of life in seniors. Source: Frontiers in Psychology. Even more striking, for those living with dementia, hearing familiar songs can unlock memories thought to be lost. Music reaches places in the brain that ordinary conversation sometimes cannot. If instruments aren't your thing, other creative pursuits, painting, writing, or even cooking new recipes, have similar benefits. Creativity sparks novelty, and novelty builds resilience. 5. Mind-body practices. Balance for brain and body. Gentle practices like yoga, tai chi, and meditation combine movement with mindfulness. They reduce stress, improve blood circulation, and strengthen executive function, the brain's command center for planning and decision-making. A UCLA study found that seniors who practiced yoga and meditation for just 12 weeks improved memory and showed greater connectivity in the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub. Source: UCLA Health, Yoga and Memory. You don't need to twist into complex poses. Even 10 minutes of chair yoga, slow breathing, or mindful stretching can deliver benefits. Now I want to hear from you. If you had to choose between a daily walk, a social lunch with a friend, or learning a new skill, which one feels most realistic for you this week? Section 3. Sleep and Stress. The brain's reset buttons. You can eat the best foods and stay active every day. But if your sleep is poor and your stress is overwhelming, your brain is still at risk. Think of sleep and stress management as the reset buttons for your mind. They clear out toxins, repair cells, and prepare your brain to function at its best. Sleep. Nightly housekeeping for the brain. During deep sleep, the brain activates its glymphatic system, a cleansing process that washes away waste products, including beta amyloid, the sticky protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. The National Institutes of Health, NIH, has shown that adults over 60 who sleep fewer than 6 hours per night experience faster rates of cognitive decline compared to those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. Source: NIH, Sleep and Cognitive Decline. But here's the catch. It's not just about quantity, it's about quality. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea can prevent you from reaching the deep restorative stages your brain depends on. If you often wake up tired or gasp for breath at night, it's important to get evaluated. Untreated sleep apnea doesn't just affect energy. It damages memory and focus long-term. Practical tip: create a calming bedtime ritual. Dim the lights, shut off screens an hour before bed, and try gentle breathing or journaling. These small changes send a signal to your brain. It's time to rest and restore. Stress. Protecting the memory center. Chronic stress floods your brain with cortisol, a hormone that, in high levels, can shrink the hippocampus, the very part of the brain responsible for memory. Seniors dealing with long-term stress are at a much higher risk of depression and cognitive decline. The good news? Stress management works. A study from the Alzheimer's Research and Prevention Foundation found that just 12 minutes of meditation per day for 8 weeks improved memory and attention in seniors. Source: Alzheimer's Research and Prevention Foundation. Whether it's prayer, meditation, tai chi, or simply sitting quietly with deep breathing, the act of calming your nervous system is like giving your brain a protective shield. Ask yourself, what's one practice I could add to my day that makes me feel calmer? Even 5 minutes of stillness can make a measurable difference. Bringing it all together. A daily blueprint.